What's up, guys? So welcome back to another weekly market analysis video on my YouTube channel. Right, so last week was super crazy. I mean, this past trading week has been super crazy, especially on Euro USD. And believe me, with whatsoever that price action is doing right now, I'm super convinced that the upcoming trading week is going to be providing insane opportunities, right? And that is what I am here to share with you guys, just to show you what I'm looking at for the upcoming trading week on Euro USD. So this week I'll be talking about just Euro USD. Okay, so real quick before we step onto the chart, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications so that you don't miss out on this weekly market analysis video that I do and other important videos as well. Okay, so real quick, let's start with the higher time frame. So yeah, so on the weekly time frame, now if you've been following me for a while now, you'll be able to tell that I have already defined this weekly break of structure to the upside. So weekly, we've been bullish since November, right? So this is the weekly push to the upside. Now I can step into the daily time frame and see what the daily is doing. Now this is what I want you to do. Pay attention to me. I'm not going to be attributing any time frame to a particular structural leg, right? I'll just be defining the structural legs nicely, but I'm not going to be saying like this is H4 leg, this is blah blah. No, I'll just follow me closely and you're going to understand what I'm doing. Okay, so yes, now on the daily time frame, if you are looking at what price action is doing right now, this is the last low that we created, this last low, right, that created this high. So now I'm going to mark just this, and then I'm going to be focusing on just this price action. So I'm going to ignore all these price action here and I'm going to be focusing here. The reason is because if price will come this lower, okay, if price will come to any of these regions in here, we will need to take out this low first. If this low is not taken out, trust me, price is not coming. Okay, so I'm going to be focusing on that one. So once I have this, I'm going to step onto H4. But then before I step onto H4, I know that there is a demand zone here. Okay, so I'm going to mark it now and refine it on H4. So demand, and then step onto H4. Let's refine this. So on H4, I'm going to refine this to just this little space over here, or this little zone in here. Then I can also see that there is this last point also right in here. Okay, I can see this one also, I can see this also, I can see this also, but I am much more concerned about this one. Okay, the reason is because if price will come to any of these ones over here, or even this zone, we will need to break this one. If this one is not breached, trust me, we are not coming down. So price can come in here and respect it and push to the upside. So this is my utmost concern. So now I'm going to take the ray line just like I did from the daily and H4s. I'm going to mark this low to this high. Now I'm going to be focusing on just this one. Okay, not here, just this one. So now that I have this in focus, I can step onto H1. It's been years since I stepped onto H1 time frame. But the reason why I step onto H1 is because I wanted to refine this point of interest to this nicely. Okay, then also I can see this liquidity built in here. I'm going to mark it nicely. Liquidity, nice. So once I have seen this, right, I know that price is doing something in here. If you guys can see, we had this low which created this high, and then we had which created this high, and then we had this low which also created this high, and then we came to have this low which created this high. So this was a break of structure for me. Okay, I consider weak break of structures. Okay, so let me mark this one real quick. So this is a break of structure for me to the upside. So BOS nicely good. If that is the case, then it means that now I'm going to be focusing on just this low to this high. The reason is because we've broken structure to the upside, and if price is going to come into this region, we will need to take out this low first. If this low is not taken, trust me, price is going to continue and then push to the upside. So currently this is going to be my main push, right? So let me use the arrow and let me mark this as my main push. Now we're going to be focusing on just this leg. Okay, so now I can step onto M15 and see what the intraday time frames are doing. So in as much as I know that this is just one leg, I understand also that this leg is made up of like 1, 2, 3 waves, right? And we have other substructures within these structures. So right in here, I saw this break of structure to the downside. This is just an internal break of structure. It is not a true break of structure. Okay, the real push is this move to the upside. So whatever is happening in here is just internal break of structures. Then we went ahead to have this last break of structure over here to the downside. Okay, so there's also another int BOS nicely. So it means that I had this high which created this low. Let me change this to, let's say, blue. So I had this, and then I had this last high which also created this low. Don't forget, we are in this major push. So wherever price is right now is like we are in some sort of demand zones of, you know, the higher time frame. When I say higher time frame, I'm not saying H4. I'm talking about the intraday time frames that we look at before we are now looking at M15. So we are in this push, right? So price is within certain levels of demand of this push. Okay, then also we understand that internally price is making what, lower highs and lower lows. If that is the case, then it means that I have a level of supply right in here that I should mark. But again, because this level of supply is in confluence with Asian highs, if you've been following me for some time now, I hardly mark points of interest from Asian highs and Asian lows, right? 80% of the time, I believe that those points of interest is going to fail, right? So I'm going to mark this as a smart money trap instead of like a valid point of interest. I know it is a point of interest though, but I'm going to mark it as a smart money trap, okay? Now, my focus is now going to be on this high to this low. The reason is this: if price will come to this high, we will need to take out this. Okay, so if you watch what price is doing right now, even though we are focused on this leg, right, we can see that internally price is doing this 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, which means that even before we will come to this levels in here, there is a particular level in here that we must take out, which is this high, right? If you're not seeing this clearly, let me step onto M5 and let's see. So you can see this high to this low is one leg. Now this is what I am personally anticipating. Now that I've been able to break all of these things down, I am aware that we are in certain levels of demand of the higher time frame push to the upside, right? However, internally we are bearish. Okay, momentum is bearish, like we are flowing to the downside. So I understand that even though I have marked this as an SMT, before price will come into this point of interest, we must take out this high, right? What it means is that if the market opens, we can have price respecting this and continue to drop. I don't control price, so it can happen like that. But then 80% to 90% of the time, I'll be expecting a breach and probably a little to no retracement or something like that. Maybe we can get a retracement or not. And then, so let's say something like, let's look at something like this. So we can get something like this. Maybe price will break small, right, and then take out this high. After taking this high, maybe a little retracement before we come to this point of interest. If we decide to hold, fine, but most of the times I'll be expecting this to be taken out. Maybe it could be like a liquidity grab, right? So if it takes it out, maybe we can expect a deeper retracement into this level before we push to the upside, or we can actually, you know, let me delete this. So again, maybe we can respect this and start dropping, right? Or like I said, I can expect price to break this, give us a deeper retracement before we push to the upside, or maybe just a shallow retracement, and then price will continue all the way to the upside. And like I said, we are bullish, right, with this leg, so we can continue all the way to the upside and come and take out this high right in here. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at on Euro USD. Let me just put it in a summary. So we've defined the higher time frame push, like the higher intraday time frame push. We've seen that internally price is what, bearish, which means that this point of interest over here is going to be like a point of supply that we are looking at price to come to, you know, these areas. Then we can see if we can sell right to the downside. But again, I don't take points of interest from Asian highs and Asian lows. Because of that, I'm going to mark this point of interest as my what, smart money trap. Okay, the reason is because I'll be expecting price to take it out. Now, even before price will come to this top, we need to take out this last point. If this last point is not taken, we're not coming up here. So like I said, we can have price respecting this point, dropping, or we can have price breaking this. Once we break this, I'll be expecting price to come all the way to the upside, take out this, and then move away to take out this high. Okay, so again, someone is going to ask me, what if we break this point? Can't we react from here and drop? That the truth is, yes, we can get a reaction from here, but this point of interest is going to be like a reactive supply zone, right? So I wouldn't be taking put entries from this supply, just a reaction, and then probably to, you know, expect price to push to the upside, take out this high, maybe a deeper retracement before the push to the upside, or shallow retracement following internal structures, and then we're gonna move all the way to the upside. So that is what I'll be looking at on Euro USD. If you found value in this video, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section. So yeah, I'll see you within the week with another educative video. Stay safe and have a pipful and profitable week.